Welcome to this week's Down Home with Tina. I'm your host, Tina Thompson. Folks, I've got some really great guests again this week on the Down Home with Tina show. And I'm also just going to tell you, I'm excited because my 100th show is coming up. I'm going to have some special things going on. But that's a few shows away yet. Anyways, I'm just thinking about it, and I think it's just going to be a whole lot of fun. And it's great that I get to be here each week and highlight folks as I've got coming up here in the show is going to be, she is a award-winning historical fiction author. Her name is Ruth Ellinger, and then also I've got my Teacher of the Month coming up and ahead, and she is an ag science teacher. She's also involved with the FFA program as well, because they go hand in hand. But anyway, she is Jenna Kemmerer. She is from Fairfield Union High School. So much going on to share with you. We've got great things going on in our community, and you're going to find out about it right here on the Down Home with Tina show. Be back in a few.
The Frankie Smith Funeral Home and Crematory in Lancaster and the Johnson Smith Funeral Home in Baltimore have a long and wonderful history of serving our community. Feel free to give us a call at 740-653-0652. Stop in and see us at either of our two locations, 405 North Columbus Street in Lancaster and 207 South Main Street in Baltimore. Respect for tradition, regard for change.
Life is unpredictable. That's why estate planning is important. Estate planning provides you comfort and peace of mind knowing that you're taking care of your loved ones and ensuring your legacy lives on just as you envisioned. You lived a life that is beautifully and uniquely yours. You deserve an estate planning attorney who understands that and creates a plan as unique as you and in the best interest of your loved ones. You deserve the local, trusted, experienced attorneys at Dagger Law.
Welcome back to Down Home with Tina. I have with me, she is an award-winning historical fiction author, Ruth Ellinger, and I have spoken with her in the past, and I have read her books, and I'm so very excited because you had the trilogy, and now you have a new book that you have written. Ruth, you have been busy lately, haven't you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
It takes a lot of time to write a book.
Yes. Did you, I know I don't want to jump all the way to the book, the current one that was just recently released, but did you really have a lot of time during the pandemic? Is that what really made you and encouraged you to want to write it?
Well, actually, I had it done almost before the pandemic arrived, but the publishing house had a very bad case, and they shut down for almost a year.
Oh.
So it sort of languished at the publishers until everybody got back on board.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so I've been waiting, and
patiently,
waiting.
right? Trying to patiently wait.
So, yeah.
Aww. Well, and we're going to get back to that, and we're going to share with everybody the name of it and the title of it, but before we get to that, you have been writing for how many years?
Over 40 years.
Why did you decide to write?
Well, I should have brought this little magazine that my brother-in-law recently bought a bunch of 50 called the Fairfielder or something, and it was covered all the schools and events in Fairfield County.
Oh my goodness.
And he was going through them, and he found my entry in there, and I was like 10 years old in that book that my teacher had submitted. So he was saying, you were destined to be an author. Yours was chosen for the Fairfielder.
Absolutely, that is awesome. So it's always just been in your heart.
Always been in my heart.
So the first time we met, you had written some books. It's the Wild Rose Trilogy, correct? Mm-hmm. Share with folks a little bit about those books and what they are, because my ancestors are from Scotland. So when I saw those, I was just like, oh, I love it, and I haven't even read it. This is going to be so cool. So I'll let you answer my question.
Well, my ancestry basically is Scottish. So during the Highland clearances, when so many Scottish people came over to America and established their homes here, but your roots are always there. So I'm a member of the Daughters of the American Revolution.
Yes.
So when my sisters and I were digging into that after our parents died, after they passed away, we said, there's so many good stories. They need to be recorded. They need to be remembered. And so the Wild Rose of Lancaster is based on my grandmother's life. I set it back in history a little bit to take in the Lancaster area and all the settings, the stores. I was fortunate enough to get a 1885 newspaper from Lancaster that I bid on eBay.
Oh my
And I got that. I was able to incorporate all the streets, the businesses, everything about Lancaster at that time period. So her story is the Wild Rose of Lancaster.
So there's a lot of fact, but of course it's fiction because it's not
You have to make
all.
up the conversation because you don't know. Now, I spent a lot of time with my grandmother because when she was getting older and she was sick, I would go and stay with her. And at that time, she lived in Columbus, and she was a very entrepreneurial woman. She was widowed when my dad was only 2. So she told stories, and I remembered them.
I love
and they
it.
were so impacting to me as a young girl. So I thought, I've got to write these down. I've got to tell this story. It's so amazing. So that's how the first one was written. And I used Lancaster as a setting, had all the info from that paper, which I just kept bidding on. Someone was bidding against me, and we were bidding back and forth. I said, I don't care how much I have to pay, I'm getting this paper. So I could put the streets and everything in there, and the businesses when the canal still ran through.
What a great thing that you are giving to your family, because these are stories that you are incorporating in. Now, do they come to you and say which one's true and which is not?
Oh yeah, they want to know. I tell them this, the facts are true. I have to make up the language, make up the certain incidents, and take from that and build a story that is believable,
right,
and entertaining, and has a takeaway with it.
Absolutely, and I love it. And you ended up with 3 in that
I ended
series.
up with 3. I was only going to do the one, and then my publisher said, we need a second one.
Come on, snap to it.
So I wrote book 2. He didn't like the ending that much on book 1 because we didn't see, it was just left to your imagination. And he says, you've got to marry that couple. You have to. So that part wasn't true because my grandmother never remarried after she lost her husband. But other than that, that was the second book. And then the third book, people said, well, what happened? How did they get here from Scotland? So we kind of went back and dug up history on that. And it's the prequel to these 2.
Okay. Oh, and that's awesome. And then here we are. You've got another book, and is this going to be a part of a series as well? I believe because it says
book 1.
Book 1, The Broken Spear.
Right. This goes way back. This is set in 16th century Scotland at the onset of the Protestant Reformation.
Wow.
And all the upheaval, the uncertainty, everything that went on with that movement, and my ancestors' involvement in it. Now, I had a little more history actually on that than I did some of the other books, or at least Sword of the Wild Rose. So I had documented evidence because our Scottish clan, Clan Carmichael, kept records, and he was able to, present clan chief was able to give me a lot of information for that. So.
Oh my goodness. So, and you go to Scotland, not to get off topic of the book, but you go to Scotland.
Yes, and to research the setting for the Broken Spear, we visited 4 times.
4 times, just for that?
Well, other things too, of course.
You got to go again.
You got to go to Scotland. It's beautiful. We just enjoy the trip and enjoy the beautiful scenery and everything that goes with our Scottish ancestry. But this took place right on the Carmichael estate in Lanarkshire, Scotland.
So how does the story in here relate to today?
Well, I see a lot of parallels in this story in a country that is kind of in upheaval in uncertain times. It seems like there's a quote that says, if you don't learn from history, you are doomed to repeat it.
Wow.
And I see this repetition as I wrote this book in our own country today.
Wow.
The uncertainty, the difficult times, the struggles, and the players may differ, the causes may differ, but the family dynamic pretty much stays the same, and the conflicts and how to resolve them or how not to resolve them are the same.
Wow. Wow. How long did it take you to actually write The Broken Spear?
Well, with the research, it was daunting. So I spent probably 3 years in research and writing.
You did?
Yes.
Yeah. And all those trips, of course, too. Did you take all those trips in those years?
I think the last 2
Were
was
focused on.
at that time.
Wow. Wow. So who do you think would be interested in reading this genre?
Well, anyone who is interested in history, who wants to understand what took place and how we can avoid it, but unfortunately that doesn't usually happen. But anyone who likes to read about national conflicts, national struggles in their own country, there's a lot of parallels, there's a lot of actions and reactions in our own human way to those things that we face.
Where can we find the book?
You can find it at booksellers everywhere, but unfortunately Lancaster doesn't have any booksellers anymore. And but you can also order it online. Amazon.com, of course, carries all our books. And then you can get it in digital format or hard copy, or it's Audible will be also doing the book.
And you are going to have a book signing coming up.
Yes, that will be August 28th at the cafe on Lancaster Campground.
So very
And
exciting.
so we're looking forward to that. It's going to be an exciting time. And it's someplace that those who are interested in books and history and all that can actually come and talk about it and
Nice.
get a book and have a little tea.
Yeah,
We're having
yeah.
a little bit of
And
lunch.
the time is what, 2 to 4?
2 to 4.
Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. And then will you have any books there? Of
Yes,
course,
I
to
will have
purchase.
books
Do you have the
available.
books there? Okay.
Yes.
Limited books or?
I just ordered more books from my publisher.
So what's our goal? How many people we want to get there that day?
Well, there's
Well,
a
I
cap-
mean a lot, but.
there's a
How
there's a
many per book?
capacity of 66.
Okay.
So, but she said she could work with it. Christy Baker is the chef and,
Okay.
of the cafe, so she said she could work with the numbers.
And they can, perfect. Awesome. Well, good luck with everything. And then you've got another book coming. Are you already writing it?
Yes,
You're
I'm
in it.
writing the
You're in it now?
book
Is
2.
it the second one? All right. Well,
And we
wait-
carry on with the same family, the same era of time. Just further, I could not get it all in this book.
No, no.
So it
Well, that's
covered-
good stuff then. You got when you've got more.
Yes. Oh, there's more.
Right.
This one was a little more dramatic because I had to go into a lot of the details when the family was one of the members, Peter Carmichael, who is our protagonist, was caught and put on the galley ships that rode back and forth between England and France. And then
Awesome.
after 2 years, he was put in a prison and on
Wow.
Mont Saint Michel, which is a island off the coast of Normandy. And from there, I'm not going to tell you the whole
Nope.
story.
I was just going to say we're
And
leaving
from
it right
there,
to that.
we'll go dot, dot, dot.
She said what I was going to say. Ruth, thank you so very much. Ruth Carmichael Ellinger, thank you for being a guest with me today. Folks,
Sure.
I hope you make it to the book signing. Follow her. I know she's got website, Facebook, all that great stuff. I'm going to be back in just a minute. You're watching Down Home with Tina.
Fairfield Federal. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Our people make the difference.
We were retiring from Tucson, Arizona, and we made a retirement trip out around Ohio, having decided that's where we wanted to be. And we came across this town called Lancaster, and we fell in love with the downtown area, where the fountain is, and the memorials, and the flags, and all this stuff. And we looked around, and I said, "There's our bank, right there."
There's something to be said about a community bank in your hometown.
Right. If you live in the community, you should do business in the community as much as possible. So it makes sense to bank with the community bank where you live.
Fairfield Federal is the bank to be at. If you live in this town, or any town actually, you want to bank at a local home bank. The employees are happy here, they're conversant, customer service is through the roof. There's nothing more you could ask for.
Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. Stop by today at any of our 3 locations and see why the difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you.
Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
so excited to welcome my teacher of the month this month. She is from Fairfield Union High School. She is the Ag Science and FFA teacher. So I have Jenna Kemmerer, and we are going to find out all about, well, first of all, why she decided to do what she's wanted to do as her career, and all about the different things that they've got going on. Jenna, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank you. And I do have to say, she is somebody who, she taught my daughter, and I think she's also neighbors of them as well. And you've just got a great, beautiful family, and you just like everything you do. It seems like you always got a smile on your face. And I just remember her coming home and saying things, and I was just like, oh. And then I saw your Facebook post a couple of weeks ago that you were talking about, because school is started and everything, and you have a classroom that doesn't have windows, and you wanted some artificial plants. And I was just like, oh, she's so awesome. She's got to be a teacher of the month. So thank you for accepting that. And anyways, let's find out about your class and, well, why you decided to do what you're doing.
Yeah, so I have, I'll be going on my 11th year as an ag educator. All 11 years have been in Fairfield County. 9 of them are at Fairfield Union, and before that I taught 2 years at Liberty Union.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So I grew up next door to my grandparents, and my grandpa had a small family farm on the side. And so growing up, my brothers and I were involved in 4-H, and then in high school we were involved in FFA. And so my grandpa kind of instilled that love for agriculture at a very young age. I'd walk around, I'd follow him around. He had cattle and hay, and so it kind of sparked my interest. And then when I was in high school, I had 2 really good agricultural educators. One who taught for 45 years, and so when he retired, I took his spot, which is huge shoes to fill. And so I decided to go to Ohio State and become an ag teacher.
And what has it been like for you so far? Minus this last year.
Yes.
We're not going to talk about this last year.
No, last year and a half.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's got to be hard because you're basically hands-on.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, we are. So at Fairfield Union, there's 3 ag teachers, myself, Christine Ballant, and Judd Baker. So the 3 of us, we are very hands-on. We have the shop, we have greenhouse, we have the land lab, we have mechanical principles and welding and small engines, and so it was hard the last year and a half trying to teach. For me, my freshman shop safety online was very interesting. But besides that, we work with really good kids, and so I think that's what keeps ag teachers.
Do you have a lot of 4-H kids go into the FFA program?
Yeah, we do. We have roughly like 350 total kids in our ag program.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, that's like half the school.
I was just going to say,
yeah. And so, to be honest, we have kids who are in 4-H, and then we have kids who have never, stepped foot in an ag background or a farm or animals or anything like that. So we have a big variety.
You do a lot of community outreach. What type of community outreach do you guys
so
do?
Part of, I should say, the FFA organization, we focus on premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. So we do a lot of community outreach. Recently, this past spring, we partnered with 3rd and 1st graders that came out to the land lab, and so Mr. Baker's forestry kids got to go out and partner with them. They did tree ID. They made bird seed. Like pine cone bird feeders, they walk the woods, and so that's a good partnership with the elementary schools. But we do a lot with the Bremen Food Pantry. We're always asked for kids to volunteer to serve dinners and anything like that. So I think community knows if they want good kids to show up, that they contact us.
Well, and it's great because it's really getting the kids out there, and it's a way of giving back to the community. Yeah, I love that. So what are some of the class projects, back to the class, that you guys have done? Because you submit these class projects for contests, correct?
Yes, and they go, so some of them go even to our fair this fall. Others go out into the community. But for me, I teach the freshman Intro to Ag class, an animal and plant science class, and then I do a capstone class, which runs our greenhouse, and then they've got a small animal project. But we do a variety of things.
I was just going to say, you've touched on a lot of it.
Which is good, because it's something different. The kids aren't stuck in one topic, I should say. they get to do a variety of things.
Do you find some of your kids just enjoy it so much that that's a big reason why they do continue to come to school?
Yeah, I mean, we'll have kids, so their freshman year, they can only take one ag class, the intro to ag class. And then after that, they can pick and choose based on their interest. And we will have kids that will have 2 to 3 ag classes a year. Yeah, you know, I think the 3 of us, I mean, with it being an elective and hands-on and project-based, and the kids enjoy coming down to our classroom and working with their hands. And
what do you have that's one of your favorite things to do with the kids?
Right now, I think one of my favorite things is our greenhouse. When I was hired at Fairfield Union, I was kind of told I needed to get the greenhouse up and running, and so we do all hydroponics.
Nice.
Yes, so we grow cucumbers and tomatoes and lettuce. This year was a little rough just with the unknown because kids were on and off, but in the past we have raised these vegetables to go into the school lunches and things like that.
That's what I was just going to ask, and that is pretty cool.
Yes, this year was a little rough. We didn't have as good of an outcome, I should say, because we were, red from Thanksgiving to January. It was
it wasn't red. Was just that every other
it was
day.
every other week.
Wasn't every other week.
And then we went all virtual.
And then it was just it was not a fun year at all. So what do you plan for the coming year?
Yeah, so we're excited. Teachers start, this coming Monday, but we're hoping to get kids 5 days a week, every day. Keep them busy, keep them engaged and involved. One thing that has kind of been a bummer, I should say, with COVID for us is a lot of our field trips that we go on were canceled. And that makes our program. The memories come from FFA camp, national convention, state convention, leadership nights, farm science review, and we couldn't go on any of those trips this past year.
What kind of contests do you guys have that you enter into?
Yeah, there's like 30 different, there's more than 30 different ones, but we don't do them all.
Right. That's a lot.
No. There's some that we've done forever at Fairfield Union, and we've actually recently been pretty successful, but we do contests that kind of take what we've learned in class, and then they compete against our own county, then they can move on to our district, and then state, and then national. So we do public speaking, livestock judging, forestry, small engines. We also do, we used to do meat science, but we haven't done that in a long time, soil judging. And then if a kid comes to us with wanting to do one, we'll try.
Yeah. That's nice then.
Because there's a variety.
What is the highest award that's been won through Fairfield Union? Do you know?
I think so. 2 years ago, our forestry team won the state and got to compete at national convention.
Nice.
And then this past spring, our livestock judging team, which is a very big and competitive contest, won the state, and so they'll get to compete here in October at national convention. So,
and where is that held?
Indianapolis. So yes.
So even with all that went on this last year, they made it that far.
Yeah, it was online. They had to judge animals online and not in person.
Oh,
so they had to watch videos in order to judge. So I'm proud of them that they were able to still, do it and win the state contest. So,
absolutely, So you, as my teacher of the month, there I go. Anyways, you as my teacher of the month. I'm trying to hide some things back here. It's not working, folks. First of all, I had mentioned earlier the artificial plants. So this artificial plants is yours. I was just like, and I've got this big, huge bag because of a couple of artificial plants, because your classroom having no windows and stuff. So hopefully the kids can enjoy that and then go out to the greenhouse and enjoy the live stuff out there, right?
Yes, that's always my goal.
But I also wanted to, I've got Ava Jewelers. We've got a gift certificate. I work with Ava Jewelers. And then a gift card from the Downtown Bistro, just new to the show as a sponsor. And some tea in here. I got Sweet Dreams tea just because, sometimes we need to just go to sleep quickly.
Yes.
No, I'm kidding. And of course, a little mug to go with that, and just a few other things. And always, I have homemade chocolate chip cookies. Jenna, thank you so much for everything that you do and all the time spent, because I can't imagine what it's like as an ag teacher, what you have to do to prepare for what you do. Because you just said, and I'm not saying any other teacher doesn't have, I don't know how many subjects, one teacher typically has, but in your case, there are several different things, and you have a lot of different kids that you are I don't want to say either entertaining, but
engaging, right?
Engaging with, yes, those hands-on projects and things. And how fun. And you can tell that you just enjoy what you do just by smiling.
Yes, I know. Kids always say, like,
9 years
well,
in,
the mask,
like I'm smiling for you.
The mask covered my smile, and I didn't like it because this summer a kid didn't recognize me because I didn't have my mask on. And I was like, oh, do I need to go like this? And I smile a lot. I feel like I'm a...
I'll tell you what I did. I don't know if I've said this before. With the mask, I'd be like
underneath.
My eyes like made them really like they knew I was smiling to somebody. Like, hi, how are you? And I'm smiling so ridiculously right now, and I don't think I've stopped. Well, good luck with the school year, and good luck to everybody and all of them at Fairfield Union. Folks, you're watching the Down Home with Tina show, and I'll be back in just a minute.
Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Tim Shoemaker. Tonight we've got a great one for you. The Blue Carroll Bulldogs.
It was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice.
Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Rush Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up 4th down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you. The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions. First time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
And be very proud of this trophy because you've earned it.
Down Home with Tina is brought to you by these amazing sponsors. I want to also thank you so much for watching the show. Each week I come on here and I just do what I do and talk with those in the community to bring you good things and positive, happy messages. I hope that you are gaining something fun and informative each and every week. I want to go ahead and thank now Lancaster Parks and Recreation because this is the last of my summer series of being out on location. This week, am in the Nature Center once again due to weather, but I'm at Alley Park, and some of the great things, I don't know, I can hear it, I don't know if you can all hear it, but the turtle was being quite he was doing some rustling in the leaves and everything, probably going to get something to eat. He is what's behind me. Their habitat back here, a couple of different spaces with turtles, and then they've also got over on the other side, Poppy the skunk. So Poppy is the cutest little thing. Also what they have here in the Nature Center is the bug hunt, and you can always go to the Lancaster Parks and Recreation website just to find out what the hours are and when you can come in and bring the kids, but they've always got something great happening at the Lancaster Parks and Rec. Folks, I just want to thank you so much for watching the show. My PQ before I get out of here is your life and what you do matters. No matter what decision or choice that you make, sometimes you got to stop and think, what is going to be the reaction of others, because it can be an everlasting effect on something bigger than what we could have ever imagined. Thank you. Have a wonderful and blessed week. Hang in there for all that's going on in the world today, and no matter what, find happy in each and every day. God bless and good day.